Good afternoon, and welcome back again to this lecture of electronics. I guess we were studying communication systems, and we have almost completed, say, all types of modulation techniques which are used for communication. Okay, and today we are going to continue with the same portion of it, and I guess this is supposed to be the last topic of say this unit, that is the phase modulation only, right? So I just need to tell you what is phase modulation in that on that note. So let us begin with that. Let me share my screen. Uh, yeah, I guess hopefully my screen is visible to you. My screen is visible to you. Let me introduce myself. Myself, Dr. N.D. Mishram, Head and Associate Professor, Department of Electronics, Sri Mathura Das Mohta College of Science, Nagpur. And today we are going to learn about the phase modulation. I guess we have completed all, say, amplitude modulation and frequency modulation, in which we have also studied about the derivation portion of it, right? So we are going to continue with this, the phase modulation. This is also called as one of the type of, say, angle modulation, right? So in which the angle is being modulated with respect to the amplitude of the modulating signal, right? So let us go through that. What is the principle of phase modulation? Sorry, what is the principle of phase modulation? When the amount of phase shift of a constant frequency carrier is varied. Now amount of phase shift, right? So we are going to change the phase, right, of a constant frequency. Now we are going to keep frequency and amplitude as constant. So constant frequency carrier is varied in accordance with the modulating signal, right? With the, actually this should be with the in accordance with the amplitude of the modulating signal. The resulting output is called as the phase modulated signal, right? So this is the basic definition of, say, the phase modulation, in which we are going to change the phase of the carrier wave with respect to the amplitude of the modulating signal, right? And the resulting output, which we will be able to get, that we will be calling it as, say, the phase modulation. Okay, so yeah. So this is the phase modulation. Now we are going to keep the amplitude as well as the frequency as constant. And phase modulators produce a phase shift, which is a time separation between, say, two sine waves of same frequency, right? So we are having frequency as constant. Also, the amplitude will remain constant. I will show you on in the waveform. So phase modulation is over there. We are having a phase shift, which is actually the time separation between two sine waves. The greater the amplitude of modulating signal, the greater the phase shift, right? So the phase angle is going to shift. Okay, so we are having this phase angle, and we have studied this in, say, the sine wave portion of it. That what is the phase angle? So the phase angle changes from, say, 0 to pi to 2 pi, right? So 0, 90, pi, 2 pi, and pi by 2, 3 pi by 2. So this is the phase angle that is going to vary throughout the whole sine, right? So as the amplitude is greater, depending on the amplitude of this modulating signal, there will be greater phase shift. And the maximum deviation, the maximum frequency deviation produced by this phase, by a phase modulator, occurs during the time that the modulating signal is changing at its most rapid rate, right? So the maximum frequency deviation which is being produced by this phase modulator, that occurs during the time that the modulating signal is changing at its most rapid rate, right? So the amplitude which is going to change at that level, the phase modulator is going to occur, or the phase modulation is going to shift the wave, right? So the phase principle of phase modulation. Now let us see some of the waveforms of it. A frequency shift occurs in phase modulation only when the modulating signal, that is modulating signal amplitude, varies, right? So we are going to show you the three waves here. The first one is the modulating signal, that is the modulating wave that we need to, say, transfer, or we need to communicate, right? And the second one is the carrier wave over here. Sorry, this is the second one is the frequency modulated signal, whereas the third one is actually the phase modulation technique. Here also it is, I guess, there is not much visibility where it is showing that there is a change in the phase angle. But here it can be a recognizable say vision that we are going to recognize the change in the frequency. As the amplitude decreases, it goes in the negative region. I guess my cursor is visible to you. So this shows the movement in the negative region, and the frequency is going to vary. So the frequency will be less in the negative region, and the frequency will be higher in the when the amplitude of the modulating signal is in the positive. Okay, so this is the frequency modulation. Whereas when we talk in terms of phase modulation, which is shown in the last say, waveform, here still it is not clear that there is a phase shift over there. But yeah, the phase change is being shown over here, and we are having the phase change according to the change in the amplitude. So here it is a rapid change which is shown over here by this curve, which is shown in the time period t3, right here, right? So we have divided it into say portions of time period. So it is a t0, it is t1, then t2, then t3. In t2 it remains constant, so frequency remains constant over here. Then it changes at t3, so it is shifting from say the positive amplitude to the negative amplitude, and in this region we will be having the maximum change in frequency. So we'll be having the lowest frequency over here, and when it will be again constant at t4, there itself it will remain the frequency with lower frequency will remain constant, and t3 will again change because it is going to change from say again negative region to the positive region. Now this is a triangular waveform that we need to communicate, and this is how it is going to change, right? Still it is not that much clear, but I'm showing you this. So yeah, principle of phase. Now this is a waveform which is having a frequency deviation as a function of say modulating signal with amplitude and modulating signal with frequency. So this is frequency with respect to amplitude, and this is say the frequency response modulating signal with respect to the frequency. So this is the PM wave and this is the FM only, and these are say the amplitude which is going to vary. The phase modulation and frequency modulation remains the same. So it is general curve. Okay, now principle. Now here I guess it will be showing you. So principle of phase modulation, in which we are going to convert the phase modulation itself into a frequency modulation. So that can be done over here. And in order to make the phase modulation compatible with frequency modulation, the deviation produced by the frequency variation in the modulating signal must be compensated for, right? So if both appear to be same, that this frequency deviation with the deviation which is produced by the frequency variation in the modulating signal should be compensated. Then only we can convert this phase modulation into frequency modulation. Now this compensation can be accomplished by passing the intelligent signal through a low pass RC network. So if you pass through the low pass filter circuit, which is actually a resistance capacitance network, then we might compensate this frequency deviation. Okay, so the RC low pass filter is called frequency correcting network, which we distorted or say 1 by F filter and causes the higher modulating frequency to be attenuated. So the compensation, that is the deviation of frequency, is being compensated by using this low pass filter. Now I need to show you, yeah, the frequency modulation produced by the phase modulation is called as indirect frequency modulation. Remember this term. It is an indirect frequency modulation. Phase modulation is an indirect. But actual change you can able to see over here. Here you are able to visualize the phase difference, right? So this is actual what is phase modulation. Now what is where we're going to vary the phase, that is being here clearly it is being shown that how it is going to change the phase. Now here, since it is being in the lower side or say zero, the phase angle is in the positive, so it is a sine wave. But as soon as it switches to say positive and it remains constant, as soon as it switches from 0 to 3, and since the switching is so rapid, so instant, that we are having a 180-degree phase shift, right? So the sine wave is at the say moment it is being converted into a cosine wave, and it remains with the cosine wave till further change in is done. So it's when it switches from say positive 3 volt to 0 volt again, then we'll be having again a phase shift. So actually, phase modulation is changing of phase with respect to the amplitude of, say, the modulating signal. So here we are going to use the square wave, and here I guess it is very clearly shown how there is a phase shifting of phase modulation or shifting of phase, since it is switching from, say, higher voltage to a lower voltage rapidly at instant, because square wave is switches with a very high frequency. So this is a very high frequency, say, switching, and during this frequency, we are having a full phase shift, right? But when we are having a very slow change in, say, yeah, here I guess we have shown here. So if there is a slow change in the amplitude, then we won't be able to recognize the phase shift over here. But here, as it is, the switching here itself is, yeah. So here, as the switching is very rapid, so we can have a, say, considerable phase shift, which is being recognized by over here. And here, the sine wave is being converted into a cosine wave. And again, when it switches from, say, a higher to lower, it again it switches from, say, cosine wave to a sine wave. And we call it as we are having a phase shift of 180 degrees, since it has been switching from, say, 180 degrees sine to cosine. So this is how a phase modulation can be done. Now there are some more derivation portion of it. I guess we won't land in discussion over here for phase modulation. So these are the derivations which shows how the phase angle can be varied according to the change in the amplitude, right? So this is the equation for the phase angle, that is theta I into t, which can be again say expressed as omega ct plus theta 0 plus kp mt. Generally, we let theta 0 equal to 0 because we are trying for the sine wave, so it remains at, which starts from, say, 0 degree. So phase modulation, phi pmt will be equal to ac cos omega ct plus kpmt. So theta 0 can be uh, taken as 0 and will be having theta t equal to, say, omega ct plus kpmt. The instantaneous angular frequency in radian per second is given by omega it. Now the theta is converted into omega, that is 2 pi. 2 pi omega is equal to theta is equal to 2 pi omega. So that can be done by using this, and we can derivate this with respect to time. So d theta I by t in t theta I t divided by dt, and that will give you this equation, that is omega c plus kp dmt by dt, or we can call it as omega c kp m dash t, right? So in phase angle, the instantaneous angular frequency omega I varies linearly with the time derivative of the message signal, that is modulating signal, mt, denoted here by m dash. Kp is phase deviation, that is sensitivity constant, which is a constant, and units are radians per volt. Actually, it is radians per unit, but here since we are taking the amplitude as voltage, so we are taking it as a radians per volt. Then modulation index, still a phase modulation will have modulation index. Any modulation process produces sidebands. So here also, as we have shown it in amplitude modulation, also in the frequency modulation, we are having, say, some sidebands over there along with the prominent central band of frequency. So when a constant frequency sine wave modulates a carrier, two side frequencies are produced. Side frequencies are the sum and difference of the carrier and modulating frequency, and the bandwidth of an FM signal is usually much wider than that of an AM signal with the same modulating signal, right? So modulation index, the ratio of frequency deviation to the modulating frequency, as we have studied, it's the same say definition as we have gone through the frequency modulation. So the ratio of frequency deviation to the modulating frequency is known as modulation index. And in most communication systems using PM, maximum limits are put on both the frequency deviation and modulating frequency. Still, we are having a band of, say, variation or band of frequencies that arrive on there. So we have studied this already in frequency modulation. Here, this is done by using the Bessel's equation, Bessel's function. We won't go in depth of that because it is not in syllabus. Yeah, I need to show you this. So we are having these types of side bands depending on the modulation index, which is written on the left hand side, and we are having a carrier. and the sidebands are shown over here. So accordingly, we will be having the sideband depending on the modulation index of say the phase modulation. Okay, similarly, we can have different waveforms depending on the sidebands which are derived from over there. This is again, say, not in our syllabus. For knowledge, I'm showing you this. So this is the plot of the Bessel's function, which is shown given by this data. Sorry, this data. Yeah. So according to this data, we can plot this graph. Okay, right. So this is the Bessel's function. I won't go in depth. You can complete this. So there are some points which are noted of both phase modulation and say the phase modulation, frequency modulation and say phase modulation. So both FM and PM waveforms are identical except for a phase shift. For FM, the maximum frequency deviation occurs when modulating signal is at its peak value, right? So frequency modulation, when the maximum frequency deviation, which is having at maximum amplitude, right? So that we are calling it as a peak values. Whereas in PM, the maximum frequency deviation takes place at zero, right? At changing. Crossing of the modulating signal, zero crossing of the modulating. As I show you, it switches from say plus positive volt to say the negative. So that triangular waveform which I have shown. So that is the maximum frequency deviation over there, and which is supposed to be at the zero potential. Okay. So when it switches from the higher amplitude to the negative amplitude, because it is going to say cover the zero line also. So there we are having the maximum frequency deviation. And last one, it is difficult to know from looking at the waveform whether it is a modulation of a frequency modulation or say phase modulation. So it is impossible to see or say consider whether it is frequency modulation or phase modulation. So these are some of the advantages of angle modulation in both say frequency modulation as well as say the phase modulation. So angle modulation is resistance to propagation induced selective fading because amplitude variations are unimportant. Angle modulation is very efficient in rejecting interference, and that is the minimizes the effect of noise on the signal transmission. Angle modulation allows for more efficient use of transmitter power, and angle modulation is capable of handling greater dynamic range of say modulating signal without distortion as occurs in the amplitude modulation. Okay, and wideband frequency modulation gives significant improvement in the signal to noise ratio to the output and is proportional to the square of the modulation index. So these are the advantages of say frequency modulation and phase modulation. I guess this much is enough for today, and we have completed with this. I guess unit number one, which was say the basics of modulation techniques. We start from say amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, and lastly it will conclude with the phase modulation. Right. So this much is enough. If you have any queries, you can ask me. I guess much less time is left for that. So you can ask me any question. I would be happy to rectify this. So thank you very much for joining, and stay tuned to my YouTube lectures, YouTube channel. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much for joining. I will be sharing more videos on my YouTube channel. So have a nice time. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe. Take care. Be cautious. See you in the next class. Bye. Good day. See you in the next.